did with Martinez in the lightweight division. Coach Burns and the staff they've thrown Lewis right back out there, and he just got tagged right across the ring. Javonta Charles with a right hand. I'm going to mention Javonta Charles is left-handed, but they met right in the center, and big punches thrown. And Sean's back in his chair up.
You know something? Just get in there and get with it. Don't stand up there and be, pitter-patter around. Just go punch him right in the nose. Punch him in the nose. You talk about walking up on somebody. You got to give him something to change that.
Wake him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Round number 1 scheduled for 5. These are the heavyweights. Right hand from Craig Lewis right there. He kind of measures with that little left. I don't know what that's about. But
just putting that out, putting something out. Give your opponent something to look at. Watch this left. Wave it around like Lewis is doing, then wind up that right hand.
Javonta just got caught walking in. He walked into a left right there, Sean. Just went straight forward into it.
Well, perhaps Javonta's worst habit would be to make Lewis mad. Because, as I was mentioning, if Lewis is a good fighter, you're right, he goes through the motions.
Yeah, he's in a sparring mode, but, he's got to be determined. Both these fighters determined to close out the year in good fashion and feel good about themselves. They want to continue doing this. Left hand right there from Lewis. That left hand could be a weapon. Nice jab.
Good punch. A trait of Detroit fighters, too. The Kronk fighters, they all have a good
right hand. He just caught Javonta. Javonta's hurt, Sean.
Big punch.
Javonta got hurt right there. Lewis finally turning it up a notch here against Javonta Charles. That hurt. You saw the expression on Javonta's face. Now, Lewis going downstairs. You were mentioning those fighters, Tommy Hearns, Gerald McClellan, Mickey Goodwin, great jab artist.
Tommy Hearns, oh my gosh.
Tommy threw one like he invented it. There's a left hand.
McKenty. My friend, terrific jab. What a great jab. Always coming back with that, too.
Javonta's got the cobwebs out. 1 minute left in round number 1. We got a different Craig Lewis here tonight, Sean.
Oh, that's nice. Wow, it is a fire under him. I think he got angry at the first part of this fight when Charles came out and tried to start this off quickly. It seemed to me that Lewis wanted to keep his tempo, his space.
Well, I think that the coaching staff has really lit a fire under this young man, too, because, like you said, he's got good skills. Nice work right there.
Look at the arsenal of weapons, too. The overhand right, the uppercut in there, a hook. Oh, good cross from Javonta.
Yeah, Javonta's staying right in there. Javonta, like I said, has a knockout on his record against Alex Rivera. That was January 27th. That was just with 2 seconds left in the fight, so he'll be patient. He'll hang in there. 15 seconds left, round number 1 here. You got the heavyweights in early tonight. It's been a good round for Lewis, I would guess. Oh, he did the foot feint right there. See that, Sean?
Boy, I love that. You don't see that very often in boxing, and that's not something you just learn. It's taught to you. How about that? What a
standing in his corner over here too, Lewis is.
Good time for him in that round. We've seen him in the past, and he's finally come out a little bit. And
that was the start of the round when Charles made the rush across the ring.
And that angered him. That had to make him mad. So after that, Craig Lewis got angry, and he scored. Look at him set up. He's even waving that left hand, setting up the right. You keep your power behind you. Usually your dominant hand is behind you. You set that up with a passive hand that left for most people. For Javonta, it is the other way around.
Let's watch and apply what you worked on in there.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Joe Burns. Terrific, bro.
Round number 2, heavyweight division. Craig Lewis in the blue trunks, red trim. Javonta Charles in the purple trunks with the orange trim for Memphis. Good first round, I would imagine, for Lewis. He was a different fighter than he's been the first 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've seen him this season. And just think about this, folks. These guys, he first went out December 17th. This is his 5th fight, and we're just midway almost through March. So that's a lot of work, and he needed this work. I think if he could pull this off tonight, Javonta, though, is not going to go away. I'm not going to count him out at all, but the fighter, the development we've seen, this is the type of league and the type of situation that Craig Lewis needed to be in, perhaps. He's 26 years old now. It's go time for him.
A lot of things here in the World Series of Boxing is sink or swim, because you're in there with the best amateurs in the world. You're going to get better. That's what's happening with both of these fighters, but especially Lewis in that first round. And watching him come out of his shell, that's what we've been waiting for.
Well, we also remember Javonta down in Mexico City, that first fight, we didn't even know if he was going to be standing up at the end of it. He was not in shape, and the altitude didn't help because you're a mile and a half high in Mexico City. So he's come a long way also. Nice right hand there by Lewis, throwing that quick, straight right.
Look how close their front feet are. You know, he's constantly stepping right there. Lewis stepped on Javonta's toes. You're constantly stepping on your opponent's toe, or he's stepping on yours. Sometimes that will distract you, too. You've got to keep your attention and your focus right into your opponent's eyes.
Fast-paced heavyweight action is what we come to see.
A lot of head hunting from these two heavyweights, as they should do. They're both power hitters.
Saw that nice foot feint from Lewis that last round. He's got skills. It's a matter of what's inside, I think, for this guy. Working behind the jab there.
He does have a lot of skills. I would like to see a little bit more upper body in his punches. He's leaving a lot of that, you know, by leaning backwards. He's leaving a lot of that out of his punch. See him there? You got to rotate those shoulders. You got to lean over from the waist, and that's where your power comes from. Get all the weight of your upper body and your head into the punch. The weight of your head.
A lot of work going on right now between these two fighters. Javonta Charles and the purple trunks once again.
I know a lot of people with a really heavy head.
Right hand. Javonta just got a right hand in there. And, of course, their feet. You got to watch the feet, too. Righty-lefty thing that Sean was pointing out. He's almost stepping on one of those toes at any moment. They're just head hunting is what I would describe.
Sure, they are. Well, they've had some success going to the head, and you forget about the body. Now, if you go to the body, many times the head will open up. You know how you throw in football, you throw the short pass to get the long pass going?
Right.
Or the short run to get the long pass going? Well, that's what you could do here in boxing. Throw to the body only to open up the head.
Final 10 seconds, round number 2. Good action, round 2. We've also been talking with some of these fighters, and we've been critical of Craig Lewis, but he's been coming on, and we wanted him to let him speak for himself. We asked Craig about his style in the ring.
Shots up, you got to study your opponent, see his mistakes, and set him up for that shot. But in a lot of cases where I've had guys who either like to stay low underneath me because I'm a tall fighter, or other guys who are my height, they like to stay on the outside because I'm a bigger fighter. So it's all about me making the right adjustments to get close enough to land the blow it needs to take, because I have the power, just need to land a shot to get him out of there.
You know, there really is, Alan, a system to this madness. There really is a way to defeat every fighter out there. You have to rely on your trainer to teach you that and to bring you through these fights. You know, for Craig, he's relying on Joe and Pat Burns.
We're in the heavyweight division, round number 3 now. Your Miami Gallos fighter is Craig Lewis. They just kept putting him back out there, hoping he would work his way into a position where he could get a victory. Javonta Charles has been a workhorse also in the heavyweight division for Memphis. We've been really, really hoping this season to see some heavyweights develop, Sean. The ones we've seen, all of them have issues that need to be addressed.
Of course.
We have ones that get knockouts and then come back and don't look so good the next fight. And we have some that I think they've got a great potential, but in America, everybody's waiting for our next heavyweight. Left hand right there from Javonta Charles.
And it may be Javonta, right? Maybe Lewis.
Like I said, Javonta's only been fighting 2.5 years. He's getting up a lot of weight to this big heavyweight. Lewis is getting caught with that right hand right here in this round. Round number 3.
Lewis turning back and
I think
forth.
one of the slickest ones we've seen, the heavyweights, is David Amosri.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a tough kid. We'll see him very soon.
I like him a lot. David Amosri is a kid that, you know, he has a lot of heart and a lot of will, a lot of strength. He's learned his craft.
He's hard to hit, too.
And listening to Craig Lewis, too, listening to that interview, you know, somebody told him about this. Somebody's trying to teach him the art of boxing, the sport of boxing. Because you don't just, you know, start talking about styles and movement and foot feints, and you don't just start talking about those out of the blue. Somebody passes it along to you.
Javonta's doing a good job. We're just walking to a left right there. He's doing a good job working his jab there, Sean, and scoring. Lewis just seems like he's got that right hand cocked and loaded. We've seen that 4 fights now.
Well, when you hurt somebody with one punch, you think to yourself, well, I did it once, I got to be able to do it again. And that's what Lewis is thinking. like to see Lewis also tuck his chin a little bit. He's got his chin up there in there just a little too high.
Round number 3, heavyweight division.
Oh, look at that.
Well, whipped that left out there.
That's nice.
Javonta's got a little blood coming out of the nose. I think that was from that punch in the second round, really tastes good. Wow.
Oh, man.
You feel the power in Lewis's gloves.
Heavyweight boxing.
See, that's the deal here. You talked about that 30 pounds difference. He's putting a lot of pressure on Javonta just with his girth and the way that, you know, Javonta's got to find a way to outquick him.
And he
But
punches.
Lewis, his heavy hands.
He punches with a lot of that weight. A little bit more from the upper body makes his punches so much more effective. You know, a little bit more from that upper body. He's got it down. He's doing it.
He's doing it. I think he's wearing Javonta down here,
Sure
Sean,
he
from
is.
what I can see.
Of course.
15 seconds left.
Of course he is. And that weight that Javonta's having to throw around, taking those punches, trying to come back, pushing and pulling.
Lead left from Javonta right there as they go into a clinch into round 3.
Well, even this fight, you can feel the tension. They've both learned how to fight enough to realize that, you know, they can have a career here, that they can be going somewhere. And as we look at some of that action, it kind of shows how focused these two are now. Good punch from Javonta. Javonta's got some good shots, got good balance in the ring. He moves around nicely. These are heavyweights too. Let's see more jabs. Jabbing heavyweight will be hard to beat. A jabbing heavyweight will be hard to beat. Get a tall fighter, just teach him how to jab.
That's basically how Holyfield beat Tyson when everybody thought Tyson was unbeatable. Holyfield went out there and started popping jabs into his face, and Tyson had no answer. Round number 4 in the heavyweight division. Craig Lewis in the blue trunks with the red trim. Javonta Charles in the purple trunks with the orange trim. Round number 4, scheduled for 5, as these fights are always. We get down to, as we always call it, Sean says this is about where the fight starts in the 4th round.
Sure.
I mean, it's anybody's fight at
This
this
is
point.
no man's land for many of these amateur fighters. Now, not for these kids, because they have done this before.
Well, we heard the fighters talking about it, going from 3 rounds, 2-minute rounds, to 5 3-minute rounds. That's exponentially harder.
Oh, yeah.
Javonta just tried a little uppercut there. It almost landed.
Doesn't sound that hard, but it's 3 minutes, 2 3-minute rounds after you've already gone 3 3-minute rounds.
That's right.
3 minutes does not sound like a long time.
Oh, it's forever
But
in the ring.
you know, we
forever.
had kids come in the gym. We just tell them to hold the gloves up for 3 minutes. They couldn't do it. You know, just hold the gloves up. That's how heavy they're fighting with 10-ounce gloves.
Right
good
hand.
crack. Right hand. I'll tell you, Lewis has got some good punches. Good punches. You got to put those
Good body
combinations together.
shot from Javonta right there.
The corner saying that's how you control somebody's power. Go to the body. Javonta has done well at learning his craft too.
The mouthpiece went
comes
flying in the
out.
first row.
That was his teeth guard.
Frank
I think.
Gentile's going to have to stop everything right now to retrieve that.
Yeah, where is? They going to send a search party for it. It went so far out there. Wow. And it's his teeth guard. I think his teeth were in it, actually.
They got it back rather quickly, so there we go.
Didn't wash it off.
Didn't wash it off.
That's how tough they are here at the World Series of Boxing. They get a mouthpiece right off the
They throw it
floor.
right back in the ring.
Put it right back out. You're okay, champ. Go ahead.
Bite down on this.
That cracks me up.
Got a little lid on it. Maybe some blood. Who cares?
You know, some of these kids put chewing gum in their mouthpiece. They leave it in there. Chewing gum. Good jab. Good jab from Lewis.
Going to take a seat here on the ropes. Greg's corner tell him he's got to take this round. Can't take any off, or you only got 5. So we shall see if he can put together the combinations to get the job done.
You know, good to see how busy Craig Lewis is. Javonta too, how busy these two heavyweights are. This is a good pace fight.
It has been throughout. 15 seconds left, round number 4. There's Craig Lewis showing some good defense staying away, but Javonta has hung in there. I think he's absorb the bigger shots you might expect from a man that's 30 pounds heavier. But Javonte, he's gotten a lot more ring savvy than he had at the start of this year. He's learned.
Some heart. Remember when we saw him in Mexico City, his first fight, we were wondering if he really wanted to do this, Javonte. But now he's learned his craft and he's gotten in good condition, or better condition.
And speaking of that, and you witnessed this when I was at another city in the World Series of Boxing tonight, that Javonta Charles, one of the biggest knockouts of the season against Alex Rivera, with just 2 seconds left in the fight. Take us through it, Sean.
Oh, a real shocker, too. It was Rivera who was pouring on the pressure, and this kind of changed the outlook of it. So whenever he came back, then he scored well. Look at these punches here, and then crack. What a shock.
That's not the that was Danny Calhoun and Donovan Dennis. Actually, we were looking at. We were confused.
Well, I've been hit a few times too. I've been hit with punches like that.
Okay, round number 5. This is it in the heavyweight division. Who's going to take it? It's probably coming right down to this round.
Oh, good shot.
Javonta Charles, good shot right there.
The efficacy of a skilled marksman. You've got to make your punches hit at the right time, at the right place. Nice work from Javonta. Straight left hand, do it again
both
if it works.
You know what? They're just wound as tight as can be. Just one guy's they're just head hunting, and you can feel it.
The tension.
They're just wound tight, ready to get something done here in the 5th round.
Trying to loosen his style some as Lewis.
I tell you what, they're tired too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work in there tonight.
Should be. They're heavyweights and they're throwing around a lot of weight.
High-paced action the entire way.
They both have fought their way into condition too. Oh, look at that. Oh, it annoyed me when my opponent would hit me little shots like that, like inside, like they don't hurt. They're just vexing.
Yeah.
But you know something?
It's
that
bothersome,
happens,
I guess is the word.
That happens
too,
a few times. You're going to tie up that hand. You're going to tie them up where they can't, slap you with those. It's like getting slapped. I've been slapped plenty of times. Oh.
Pressure from Lewis.
Yeah, that's what they want from Lewis. Pat Burns, I can hear him in the corner. Pressure. Make him work.
Oh, they're opening up now. There goes the mouthpiece.
Well, they were looking for a little bit of a lull in the action. And
they're going to put water on it this time.
Wash it off, yes.
Poor Pat Burns. Pat Burns.
Yeah, Pat Burns.
Yeah. Okay.
Former Marine. He was a cop here for 20 years. He is a great trainer. And he can tell these
really
kids.
Imploring Craig to get some. Oh, nice right hand from Javonta. Craig exclusively working Lewis, working that right hand.
Boy, you can hear them. They want to win for their
fighter,
for Lewis.
I thought I was having an optical illusion, but you notice he turns around right and left. Lewis goes right, left, and can't seem to decide sometimes which way he wants to fight.
Watch your head, says Frank Gentile. A lot of instruction.
30 left in round number 5.
In this fight.
It's going to be a tough one to score, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, remember back in that first round how well Javonta was doing. And then
Lewis came on in that first round, though. Yeah.
He seemed to get a little bit lackadaisical here in the later rounds of this fight. But he's tired for good reason.
Oh, going right at the very end there, elbows and chins.
Heavyweights. How about that?
I think that was Lewis's best effort. But
exactly.
This is nice to go to respective to the other corners and say hi to the coaches. And these two guys know each other well, and that was a good effort for Lewis.
Yeah, no.
And we've seen great improvement in Javonta Charles right here too. I think this young man he's a very nice young man. He showed no signs of quit this year. He's learned so much and he's developed so much. We'll just have to see how this decision goes tonight. It's a very important decision in the matchup tonight for Miami because they're already down one fight.
Well, Craig Lewis looked much different tonight too. He's getting the hang of this. You know, he looks more comfortable tonight than I've seen him in the past. In the past, he's been kind of following around his opponent. And Javonta too. What an improvement he has gone through. It has been a combine. This series, World Series of Boxing. These kids fight and they smack.
Nice right hand right there in the final round from Lewis. He just has trouble closing the distance, Sean.
Yeah. Yes. That's why he's not putting his upper body into it. He's not committing. Lewis is not.
He's 6 inches outside of his range.
That's it.
The entire fight.
You're absolutely right. And I think it just comes to being comfortable. He's comfortable out
he's
there.
having trouble getting comfortable because he has some talent. Let's go to the decision now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Judge Rick Bays scores about 48-47 Charles. Ralph Vidal sees it 50-45 Lewis. And Fred Flutie scores about 48-47 for your winner by split decision from the Memphis Force, Javonta Charles. Let's hear it for Craig Lewis.
Oof. Well, that's the touch. I tell you, folks, when I hear boxing scoring, I can never figure it out. You got one judge that's got all 5 rounds for Craig Lewis, but it's the other 2 slightly going for Javonta Charles. Let's get the opinion from Sean here.
Thank you, Alan. Javonta, wow, were you surprised at that decision?
I didn't know which way it was going to go. Yeah. I gave him the first 2 rounds.
It was a close fight, but how much of a fighter for yourself have you changed in the World Series of Boxing?
You got to understand, I've only been boxing 2.5 years. Everybody been doing this since they were little. So I'm at a clear disadvantage as weight and experience. So, you know,
But tonight, it didn't look like you were daunted at all because you forced him back, you pressed him, you were in good condition this time. What's different about you?
Man, my coach went harder on me. I told him I was tired of losing. I got to get better. Olympic trials coming up. I got to win it. So I know I'm going to fight big guys like that all the time. I'm not going to get no big. I just got to get better. Got to get faster. Got to get more experience.
And I think you got better tonight. We saw you and really see this metamorphosis in you. You changed a lot. You got the victory tonight. Way to go. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Javonta Charles, Memphis gets the win. Alan?
Well, that's going to put Miami in a big hole tonight because they're going to have to sweep the final 3 matches to get this victory and stay out of last place. I would have not been surprised if Lewis had gotten a close decision there. But Javonta Charles, you see what a great young man he is and knows how much work he's got to do. It's nighttime in Miami Beach, one of the most beautiful cities on the planet. We'll be back. More World Series of Boxing.